Hello and welcome to the Fazz Show. Thank you. I hope everybody is in good spirits and healthy and wealthy and kind of wise. Anyway, the Hurricane Laura thing is completely out of control. I feel for the poor people there. Fortunately, the surge warnings were not met in the fact that it was predicted that 15 to 20 foot storm surge with floods that high. I mean, that's like, two-story building underwater. Some of the areas did get 5 to 6 feet, which is still, the deep end of a swimming pool. Growing up in Miami, the couple of hurricanes that we went through, one was a Cat 2, and actually got the full force of that one. And it wasn't a picnic. Neighbors, we were lucky. Our power was only out for a day or two. And the people across the street were like without power for 2 weeks. I remember all the neighbors, my folks included, ran long extension cords right across the street into their homes and supplied them with power for those 2 weeks. So whatever they can get out of that one plug. I'm sure it kept their fridges going, and they were able to do certain things, keep lights on, and maybe even listen to a little bit of music and plug in the TV, which probably caused power outages in our house from the overload. Anyway, my folks were very kind in that regard. I don't remember those neighbors very fondly, to be honest with you. We would have band practice, and at 15 years old in the garage, and we had little piddly 10-watt amps. It wasn't even very loud, and they always called the cops on us, and the cops always sided with us, so that was my payback. Anyway, this whole COVID thing, it's still going on. It's affecting everybody's day-to-day lives, and I'm just wondering if anybody is kind of over it. And when I say over it, I'm just personally not believing that it's as bad as it's presented. And does it exist? Yes. Should we take precautions? Yes. I just not 100% sure that we're dealing with the severity level that's presented to us. And while I personally don't know anybody that's been affected by it, I know that there are some that have. But when I start seeing things like the tests are first come back positive, and then they retest, and then they come back negative, it just kind of makes me scratch my head and say, well, do we really know? Do we really know fully what this is all about? I personally have been in situations where I haven't taken those precautions, and knock on wood, I haven't had any of the symptoms yet. And I know they even say that you can have it without having the symptoms. Listen, I get a common cold, and I'm sore throat, sneezing, stuffy nose, the whole bit, the scratchy throat, and then 10 to 14 days later, you're in the pink again. So I don't think that we should stop being concerned about it, but I am concerned about some of my musical friends that don't have gigs, that's how they made their living, and the bar owners, some of who I've become friends with over the years, and they've had to shut down. I don't know how they're able to survive. A lot of those, especially the musicians, weren't able to get in on that little kickback from the government, and just for some reason, I guess if they don't have W-2s, 1099s, whatever it is, but they are kind of broke. So it's not a good thing all around. There's two sides to this, and I'm wondering if we're going to see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel, if we'll see the end. But like I say, in keeping with this, we do need to perhaps wear the masks, and I don't know about the glove thing, but the whole thing is, I think, is somewhat blown out of proportion. The essential businesses that are open, they need to be open, but I mean, a flower shop isn't essential, but it might be to some guy that wants to get some flowers for his sweetie pie, and to him that's maybe essential, and it's certainly essential to the people who are selling flowers for a living. One of the things I am questioning is the availability of products. I'm in the appliance business, and freezers are in short supply, and when they're available, I grab what I can so my customers can have these freezers, and I assume that it's based on them wanting to stockpile some goods in their freezers, meats, vegetables, whatever it is, and that kind of makes sense. We can revert back to the toilet paper shortage, and now it's hard to find napkins. Paper towels, I think, are okay, but actual napkins, you can buy the really expensive ones, the ones that they're still paper, but they're la-di-da at, $7 for 40 of them. I may not have that right, but you get the idea. The whole thing has just kind of gone crazy. Breakfast cereals are in short supply, and couldn't find grape nuts, those little hard, nasty things that just, it's kind of like eating gravel, little tiny gravel, but I kind of like that because I like torturing myself. That's how I am. Hey, what do you want for breakfast? You want some Frosted Flakes? No. I want gravel. It goes good with this coffee I'm about to take a sip of. Chock full of nuts, New York roast. I'm not paid to endorse it. It's really good. And I've got like a couple of different coffee pots that I experiment with. I've bought this Cuisinart automatic drip. It makes a damn good cup of coffee. I've also got a French press. If you're not familiar with the French press, you put the coffee in and you put the boiling water in, give it a stir, wait 4 minutes, and it's a plunger that strains all the grounds. And that's a real good cup of coffee. The problem is I can't find one that doesn't make more than like 2 cups. I drink a mug, not a cup of coffee. I drink a mug, so that's like 2 cups. And, well, you've got company and stuff and the folks and my kids are over, siblings, whatever. I got to make 8 pots of coffee. So this Cuisinart thing that makes 14 cups is happening for me. And, yes, Cuisinart, you can send me the check in the mail. Anyway, I am going to post this, and I'm wondering if anybody, if you wish to respond, you can do it on my Facebook page and give me what you're doing to keep this virus at bay, and those little things that they warn us to heed. And the thing is that I'm hoping that a lot of this really is as overblown as I believe it is, because we all have friends and family we're concerned about, and some of them don't take those precautions. And if it's indeed as bad as it's purported to be, some of these precautions that aren't taken could end up spelling a not happy ending. Not that kind of happy ending. Anyway, that's where I'm at on this thing. I'm trying to do these now. Unfortunately, the gentleman that a good friend of mine, Alan Baxter, has a serious illness, and the prognosis is not a good one. And we had a lot of fun doing a dozen or so that we did, but we won't be able to continue with what we were doing before. And it was a podcast call that came from the 20th century. And what we did was we would take our perspective as guys growing up in the 20th century and relate it to some of the things that are going on now. And I will like to continue with that line of thinking and that mode of entertainment, but not going to limit myself to that, because there's a whole lot of things current that need to be talked about, and it's just a good thing to keep everyone apprised of all that stuff. Anyway, this is my first one. I'm going to try to keep these around 10 minutes long. The other ones we were doing were 45, 50 minutes, and I don't know if people have that kind of attention span for my boring things to say. So anyway, I very much appreciate it, and I look forward to doing more of these, and I'm going to try to get friends to do them with me randomly. So if you have a microphone or a computer that has a microphone in it, whoever wants to do these with me, I'd be more than happy to do one with you. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.